Hello and welcome to my introduction to meditation. My name's Nicola from Nicola's Rainbow Rooms. I'm a Chopra certified meditation instructor, and I'd like to share with you a little introduction to meditation today for anybody who's at the beginning of their meditation journey and would just like to know a little bit more about the wonderful benefits of meditation. And then I can teach you a little or share with you a little simple but very effective meditation at the end as well that you can go off and practice on your own. So we're going to have a little chat about what meditation is, the benefits of having it as a regular practice, how stress affects our physical well-being. We're going to talk about meditation as the antidote to help navigate stressful situations in life. We're going to have a chat about what a mantra is and how to use it. A mantra is a vibrational sound that helps us go beyond the activity of the mind. So by the end, you'll have a good understanding of how to practice meditation, because we'll be learning a silent mantra-based practice. And then we'll have a little meditation together for a few minutes as well. Okay. So feel free to ask any questions in the comments and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I'll just tell you a little bit about me first. As I said, I'm a Chopra certified primordial sound meditation teacher. I'm also a Reiki practitioner, Reiki drummer, and a yoga teacher trainee. And I was a nurse for many years, but I always knew early on in my nurse training that I would go on to do holistic therapies and meditation and things like that. So I, after 15 years of nursing, went on to teach meditation. But my first taste of meditation when I was 11 years old in Miss Sims' RE class, and she did a beautiful guided meditation relaxation with us. And it was so wonderful and so calming, and it just calmed the whole class. And it just always stayed with me. But it was only about 8 years ago when I was going for a very, very difficult time in my life. I was very down. I lost my joie de vivre. And it was meditation that helped me through these dark times. And there was some sort of lots of other lovely holistic practices as well, but meditation was the one for me that really helped me navigate my way through these difficult times, and until I sort of, came back to myself again, really, and started to feel much better. But it wasn't until a few years later, really, that I realised the benefits of meditation for anxiety as well. And so, certain times throughout my life over the last 20 years, I've suffered with terrible, terrible anxiety. And it was just something I thought I had to live with. I had to just sort of carry on and through these difficult feelings. And it wasn't really until I started cultivating a regular meditation practice that I was really blown away with how life-changing the benefits were for anxiety as well. And because of all the amazing things that it's done for me and how much it's changed my life, and I've gone from a life of just chronic anxiety, living in that fight or flight response, and just like constant worrying, and it just couldn't be any different now. It's I live a life of peace and calm and expansion and joy. And when those anxious feelings do creep back in, I've got the tools now to navigate my way through them and to find that joy and that peace again. And for all those reasons, I'm really passionate about it, and I just love to share it with everyone else. And there's lots and lots of different types of meditation. There's not necessarily any better or any worse. It's just a case of finding what resonates with you and finding what lights you up and what you really enjoy. So what is meditation? Meditation is a journey from activity into silence. So we spend most of our lives living our life through our five senses. We're in constant doing mode. We're doing our jobs. We're looking after our families. We're just constantly on the go, I think, now more than ever. And meditation is the tool that takes us away from that. So it allows us to turn in the other direction, away from all the noise, to those quieter and quieter levels within. So it reconnects us to that silence within. It's a journey from the external world to the internal world. And it reduces stress. And I think this is a reason that many people turn to meditation as a de-stressing program. It helps release stress from the mind and body. So what stresses are you experiencing at the moment? We've got lots going on, haven't we, of people worrying about all the problems with the world. We've got our bills, the cost of living, health worries, family dynamics, work stresses. There's many things that people may be experiencing that are causing a lot of stress at the moment. And the Chopra definition is that stress results from encountering obstacles to the fulfillment of our needs and desires. So essentially, stress is how we respond to not having our needs met. And our body responds to the stress with the fight or flight response. So we all have things in our daily life that can activate that fight or flight response. It's that primitive survival response that's hardwired into our DNA. It's not a learned response. And it's from the time of cave women and men. We'd be faced with a saber-toothed tiger and we'd need the fight or flight response to help us, to give us the strength to fight or the speed to run. And when we experience something that we perceive as a threat, this generates that discomfort that we refer to as stress. So although we don't necessarily need that response all the time, that's what happens to our body. So what happens to our physiology? How do you feel when you're stressed? I know certainly with me, I have a rapid heart rate, get hot and sweaty, I can't think straight, I get panicky and shaky, my breathing quickens. I have a sort of thuddy extra ectopic heartbeat. So yeah, I'm sure you can have a think about how you feel when you're very stressed and what that does to your body. And this is what happens in the fight or flight response. Our heart rate increases because it needs to pump the blood more quickly around the body to circulate blood quicker. And therefore our blood pressure rises. The clotting of blood platelets, our platelets become stickier, they thicken and coagulate in preparation for injury, and therefore the heart has to work harder to push blood through the body more rapidly. And we have an increased production of stress hormones that are released into our bloodstream. We have shallow, rapid breathing. We perspire, we sweat more as the internal body temperature rises, so our body cools down with sweating. Our pupils dilate so that we can see better. Blood is shunted from our digestive organs to our muscles, so from the core of our body to our extremities, so that we have the strength to fight or the speed to run. And over time, these repetitive stressful encounters in daily life means our body may respond differently with symptoms because our immunity becomes weakened, our immune system becomes suppressed. And certainly for me, at times of great stress, I was just constantly ill all the time. Sore throats, coughs and colds, and just feeling exhausted and unwell. And this will carry on until we stop and do something about it, or potentially end up with adult onset conditions. Pancreas releases more glucagon and less insulin, which raises our blood sugar. And we have decreased levels of anti-aging hormones. Now, during meditation, the mind-body system experiences deep rest as it shifts into a state of what we call restful awareness. And this counterbalances the fight or flight response. It does the complete opposite. So restful awareness in meditation decreases our heart rate. It normalizes our blood pressure. Our platelet function also normalizes. We have reduced stress hormones. Our breathing deepens and slows down. Our pupils return to normal. We sweat less. Our immunity is strengthened and improves, as I feel that mine certainly has since I've been meditating. We have decreased anxiety, increased production of the telomerase enzyme, which helps slow the aging process. We have decreased inflammation in the body and increased levels of anti-aging hormones. And our internal functioning returns to a state of homeostasis, which is that dynamic balance within. And that's why we call it the antidote to stress here at Chopra. The antidote to stress. It's not a tool to stop stressful situations from happening in life, but it just helps us navigate those difficult situations, and it gives us time to respond rather than react to them. So therefore, meditation will help us create more balance within our physical body, and it's a purification process. We release stress and we purify the system. And you can see here that we have the effects of the fight or flight response, and the wonderful effects of restful awareness in meditation do the complete opposite of those. Hence why we call it the antidote to stress. We'll just have a little chat about some other benefits. There are many benefits many of those are online and scientifically proven now. Reduces and releases stress, toxins and fatigue, and increases feelings of relaxation and peace. So we have a clearer mind, our mental capacity increases, and we have a greater clarity of thinking. And certainly for me, my mind is so much clearer when I'm meditating. You're releasing stress and toxins that's purifying the body, and our health improves. Shifts in physiology result in more energy and vitality. Our sleep improves. I was someone who was awake at 4 a.m. most mornings, worrying about things and work and the state of the world and everything else that goes with it. And that's just a huge impact for me now that my sleep is so much better. And goodness me, how much does that help with your general health and well-being when you've had a good night's sleep? And it expands experiences of healing emotions such as love, compassion, joy, equanimity, and gratitude. So we're happier, we're more contented. And it decreases experiences of painful emotions that constrict our awareness, such as anger and fear and all those negative emotions and feelings. And another benefit is creativity. We become more creative. We're able to tap into that creativity and allow that to flow into our lives. Our intuition increases, our inner wisdom. We have decreased addictive behaviour. The alcohol and drinking and smoking in the that we used to do just to cope with the daily stresses. We have the ability to respond consciously rather than reacting in a conditioned way. So we just handle stress differently. It helps us navigate those difficult situations. It allows us to respond rather than react to them. And it can enhance or complement our spiritual or religious practice. So if you have a religious practice, it deepens that connection. And there's a saying that praying is talking to God, meditation is listening. And we become more connected to ourselves, to loved ones, to nature, and to the world. And this just naturally develops. We develop this beautiful connection with the natural world. And our relationships improve because we're less stressed and frustrated and concerned, and we're therefore more harmonious with others. We respond to each other more effectively. Certainly with myself, my husband, who's been meditating alongside me, in the past, we would have got cross with each other. It would have built and built and built. We would have argued, and it could have gone into a grudge. And he could hold a grudge for a few days if he wanted to. But now, we both are able to come at a situation with love and with humour, and we're able to just take a step back, witness what's happening, and then just come at a situation. And again, it's about responding and instead of reacting to it. And you don't sweat the small stuff as much as well. You can let things go, which is so freeing. It's just lovely. And this spills out into our children and our families. So we still have tough times. We can't stop those difficult times. And But when I'm out of sorts and I feel anxiety creeping back in, it's meditation that rescues me every time. It takes me to that stillness and silence. And if I've had a stressful day and I do a meditation, I'm like a new woman again afterwards. And we just lead a happier, healthier, more balanced life. Meditation reconnects you with your essential self. It helps you become who you really are. And there's a lovely quote from David G here, who was a Chopra certified meditation teacher himself once, and he's now does loads of amazing work teaching meditation. When we meditate, we slow ourselves down into stillness and silence so we can finally hear the whispers deep within our heart. And for anyone that knows the Desiderata written by Max Ehrmann over 100 years ago, he says, go placidly amidst the noise and haste. And that's what meditation helps us to do. And meditation allows us to unfold our inner potential. And science tells us we only live about 10% of our true potentials. That's a huge 90% that's untapped. And meditation just allows us to expand that and to become more effective in all we do. At Chopra, we teach primordial sound meditation, and it's where you receive a personalized mantra based on the date, time, and place of where you were born, which I just absolutely love. I think it's amazing. And it's a mantra with no meaning that we use as a tool to transcend the activity of the mind. And today I'm going to teach you a similar ancient and beautiful and highly effective Sanskrit mantra, which has some meaning. It means I am, and it's just taken us back to our true self. So I'll just tell you a little bit about mantra meditations first. So we're going to learn a silent mantra-based breath awareness technique, which is a tool to help transcend the activity of the mind. And with time, the mantra, breath, and thoughts cancel each other out, and we can experience another state of consciousness, which is the stillness and silence that we experience in meditation. And that mantra is So Hum. So we'll come on to that in a moment. And first, we'll just have a little chat about the practical aspects of meditation. So the most important thing is to be comfortable. So normally we'd recommend sitting comfortably in a chair with our feet flat on the floor, and that you don't want your legs hanging, so you can put a block underneath your feet if need be. And you want to have your spine as straight as possible. So I always like to get myself comfy with some really comfy cushions. I usually put a blanket over myself to get nice and warm. And you can sit cross-legged if you like. I find if I do that, I have to then shift halfway through with my knee, just so it's more comfortable on my knees. So you can sit cross-legged if that's comfortable for you, but try to get yourself in a really comfortable position. Lying down isn't recommended with this type of meditation because it's associated with sleep, and we want to be in the restful alertness, the restful awareness of meditation, not the restful dullness of sleep. But obviously, if somebody has a bad back or are unable to sit up for whatever reason, then as long as you're comfortable, then that's the most important thing. And even if you're lying down because you have to, even just bringing your head up slightly will help. We don't have any music with this type of meditation. It's a silent practice, and music keeps the brain on the level of activity on some level, and therefore that's when our thoughts creep in. So with this, there's lots of other wonderful meditations that have music, but with this type of meditation, we don't have music. You can have a nice aroma, a light scent if you like, and this activates the olfactory settings within, and therefore our mind body associates that scent with our physiology and our body calming down. So it's like an automatic response that when you use the same light scent that then it brings you, it just settles you down. It's really lovely. And at Chopra, they recommend a light sandalwood. So for me, I like to use my diffuser, and I have some sandalwood and rose in that, and that's really lovely. Lavender's another lovely one. But find what's best for you. and try to use the same smell each time so that you're not having new scents and then you're thinking, oh, you know, and your brain's in that again, you're in the activity of the mind. And if you just use that same scent that just helps you settle down, then that's really beneficial. And it's nice to have a special place where you can meditate, but you can meditate absolutely anywhere. So if you want to set up a special sacred spot in your home or somewhere nice with candles, cushions, pictures, then that's lovely. And again, you know, if you've got a place like that, it helps you sort of settle down into that meditation, you know, quite quickly, and it just helps you calm, and it's just lovely. I've got lots of places over my house now where I've got lots of little sacred spots where I sit for meditation. So you can by all means you know, arrange that, but don't let that put you off that you're not in your special place, that you can't meditate, because you can meditate absolutely anywhere. And my husband meditates on the train. I used to meditate in the car before work, obviously with the engine off when I was in the car park. But yeah, you can meditate in it, you know, in a waiting room somewhere. You can meditate absolutely anywhere, so don't be put off. And we usually would recommend having eyes closed, but if that's not comfortable for some people, then that's absolutely fine. You can just bring your gaze down and just perhaps gently gaze at a point and do your meditation like that. But if it's comfortable, we close our eyes. And we'll just talk a little bit about timing. Now, at Chopra, they recommend 20 to 30 minutes twice a day. This has been proven to have the most benefits, but don't be put off if that seems like a lot to you, because anything is going to have some benefits. And, you know, 5 minutes is better than nothing, 10 minutes better than 5, and so on. So just do what you can on any day, on any one day. But 20 to 30 minutes twice a day is what's going to get you the most benefits and the best results. And again, Chopra recommend between 5 and 7 a.m. and 5 and 7 p.m. is what's recommended, but it's not essential. So this is sort of dawn and dusk, isn't it? But that's not realistic for everybody. And I'm someone who tends to hit the snooze button more than once, and I'm not bouncing out of bed in the mornings, put it that way. And so I find that after the school run is when I come back and I do my first meditation. So you'll find what works for you, but so these are recommendations, but just find what works for you, and just try and do it at the same time every day if you can. Slip it into your daily routine and make it as routine as brushing your teeth. And it's recommended to do it the same time every day for about 3 weeks, and then hopefully you're more likely then to stick to that then after doing that. But as I say, do what you can on any day. It's going to have some benefit. And remember, it's a practice. It's not an easy fix, and we need to practice it, but it's so worth it for all those wonderful benefits that we talked about earlier. And we'll just have a little chat about experiences. So there's 4 different experiences you can have in meditation. The first is thinking thoughts and restlessness. We put that in the same bucket there. And you know, some people think that we have sort of 50,000 plus, even up to 80,000 thoughts a day, and this is a natural part of our practice. We don't have to stop those thoughts. When you're aware of them, you just relax, you let go, you soften, expect thoughts. And when you're aware of thoughts, sensations, emotions, noises in the environment, that's all in the same bucket of thoughts. When you become aware of them, you just observe them without judgment, and then come back to the mantra. Okay, so don't get upset if you're having lots and lots of thoughts. Again, it's all about non-judgment. Let go of those expectations. Be gentle with yourself, be soft with yourself. You notice the thoughts, you come back to your mantra, and that may happen many, many, many times, and that's fine. Thoughts are all part of meditation. So you just observe and come back. And the second experience we can have is repeating the mantra. The third is falling asleep, which is very common, especially to start with, and especially if you're very stressed or very tired. But it's always important to finish the practice and to end with consistency and in that state of restful alertness and restful awareness of meditation, and not the restful dullness of sleep. So if you do fall asleep, try and at least finish off with 5 minutes of meditation for that reason. And again, it's normal to fall asleep a lot to start with. Be compassionate with yourself. But if this is happening a lot all the time, then maybe you could look at your lifestyle and see what could you be doing, because obviously you are just so very tired. What can you be doing to, to get that rest? And the fourth experience we can have is the complete stillness and silence that we call slipping into the gap. So between our thoughts is the gap where we access the stillness and silence within that's always there, and we connect more deeply with our soul and our higher self when we're there. And that's where we find the qualities of peace and balance and the creative ways to respond to stress that begin to then emerge in our daily lives. And it's often others that notice them first. So when you finish your meditation, just make sure that you come out of it gently. You can what you don't want is a loud jarring alarm that's going to trigger you into fight or flight. If you set an alarm, make sure it's a nice gentle chime. There are certain apps that have timers on for meditation. So yeah, you can just have a clock or your phone next to you where you can just gently glance at the time until you get used to the timings of your meditations. And some days that you'll have an amazing experience, and other days you'll have lots and lots and lots of thoughts all the way through your meditation, and that's okay. You have the right experience for you at that time, and you're still going to be gaining those benefits. And part of the mechanics of stress release is that we're tapping into deeper layers of ourselves through meditation. And sensations and motions and thoughts and feelings is our body's way of releasing stress. So when we're having these lots of thoughts and feelings, you can just say, okay, that's just my body releasing the stress. It's normal. It's fine. Remember, no expectations, no judgments, and just allow compassion with yourself. I know on days, if I've had a sort of stressful day or a stressful week, then I'll have a lot more thoughts in my meditation, and I just reassure myself by saying, yeah, there's been a lot going on, and you just let them go and come back to your mantra. So meditation requires commitment and dedication to integrate it into our daily routines so that we can experience the many, many benefits. But to do that, we must meditate. In the modern world today, we expect a quick fix and often move away from a practice if we don't see instant results. But it's really important just to stick with it and slowly but surely those benefits will start showing up in your daily life. You'll have more energy, have more vitality, you'll be stronger, more creative, happier, calmer, more peaceful, all those wonderful benefits that we spoke about. And meditation is not a way of making your mind quiet. It's a way of entering into the quiet that's already there, buried under the 50,000 thoughts the average person thinks every day. That's a lovely quote from Deepak Chopra there. So I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. So let's just do a little meditation together. So please sit comfortably and close your eyes. And take a few slow, deep breaths. Simply follow the inflow and outflow of your breath coming into the present moment. Within each inhalation and exhalation, allow yourself to become more relaxed, more comfortable, and more at peace. Just be aware of your body now and make any adjustments you need to be more comfortable. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, your eyes, and anywhere else that you feel any tension. For a moment, observe the inflow and outflow of your breath without trying to alter it in any way. Now, as you inhale, silently repeat or think the sound so. And as you exhale, silently repeat the sound hum. So on the inhale, hum on the exhale. And there's no need to focus or concentrate. Just have a simple awareness of the sound. So as you inhale, hum as you exhale. And your breath may get faster or slower, deeper or shallower. However it changes, just observe it innocently, silently repeating so hum. Whenever your attention drifts to thoughts in your mind, sounds in the environment, or sensations in your body, gently return your attention to the mantra, so hum. Don't look for any experience or wait for something to happen. Simply, innocently, go with the flow. Please continue gently meditating. I'll watch the time and will tell you when it's time to stop. please keep your eyes closed. Stop repeating the mantra. Stop observing your breath. And just continue resting comfortably. Let's just release some intentions for a happier, healthier, more harmonious life. So as I say them, just silently repeat them and release them into being. Joyful, energetic body. Joyful, energetic body. Loving, compassionate heart. Loving, compassionate heart. Reflective, alert mind. Reflective, alert mind. And lightness of being. Lightness of being. And you can begin now to take a few deeper breaths, stretch and move gently if you wish. Perhaps wiggle your fingers and toes and have a little stretch. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. And I hope that meditation was comfortable for you. And it's common for us to feel very settled and calm and peaceful, or it can also be common to just become aware of how active the mind is. Common to feel sensations of agitation or anxiety or the need to move because we're not used to sitting in the stillness and silence. We're just not taught this. But remember, that's just the mind and body releasing stress, and that will settle in time. I wouldn't be without meditation now. It's the key to me for all the peace and joy and calm and happiness and creativity and all the other wonderful things that we spoke about. And there's a quote from Buddha that peace comes from within, don't seek it without. In meditation, we touch the stillness and silence within, and then everything else flows. And there's a lovely quote here from Dr. David Simon, who's the Chopra co-founder with Deepak. The greatest contribution we can make to the well-being of those in our lives is to have peace in our own hearts. When our hearts are filled with gratitude and our minds are brimming with enthusiasm, everyone we encounter leaves our space feeling a little bit lighter than when they entered it. So thank you for joining me for this introduction to meditation. It's a pleasure sharing it with you, and namaste. Thank you. Bye-bye.